Starting a journal cult was not on my radar when I decided to become a Notion expert. For the past 6 years, thousands of you have downloaded my journal, The Happiness Bar. And as a certified Notion expert, each year I make it better with all the new Notion updates and your suggestions. And this isn't just any journal. Over 260 of you have submitted self-care tips to open up throughout the year. To everyone that's played along, thank you so much for being here, and I'm super excited to walk through the 2026 journal today. This is a predated journal. First, I'm going to walk through all of the prep that you can do ahead of the new year, and then I'm going to show you how you can get the most out of your journal throughout the year. And if you are watching before the new year, make sure to go ahead and get your early bird discount and join our journal setup party where we are manifesting our goals and I can answer your questions before you get started. I'm so excited to get started with this. Just look how colorful this is. And so today I am going to be walking you through the power journal, but you can scale down to either the basic journal or the daydreamer journal, depending on what you want to get out of your journal. So first we're going to talk about the get started page here. And this is essentially where you can go through step by step how to get the most out of your journal, which is essentially what I'm going to be going through in this video. So if you're ever stuck, just go back to here. And I've used GIF recordings and images all throughout, so it's nice and easy like so. The second thing that I love about this journal is I've included this blank space area where essentially you can go ahead and free write if you want to, or even go ahead and practice your Notion skills. If you are new to Notion, essentially you can use the / button and that will reveal this giant old menu of these digital Lego blocks that you can go ahead and use to build a page, whether you want an image or a bullet point or a table, whatever it is. And one thing you should know about Notion is that things don't have to stay static. So let's say I want a to-do list. I can go ahead and I can click on this and I can turn this into a page if I wanted to. Notion really is that flexible. Now we're going to talk about goal setting. So I always love to keep goals front and center and in front of me as I go throughout the year. And at the top of your page, you have got this goal section here where you can go ahead and add all of your goals for the year. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this Dear Future Me page. I am a big fan of manifestation. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the journal. So on this page, I want you to go ahead and dream big and just fill out the prompts with things that you want from the next year. Automated reminder here. You can go ahead and change the day if you want to. But I am so surprised at how much of this comes true, or at least close to. And I think there's really power in writing things down because your brain is like, okay, no, we're doing this. And subconsciously you start acting towards it, essentially. And if you want to do this in real time with us, again, if you're watching this before the new year, come along to the journaling party. The next thing that I want to show you that you can get started with before you journal is setting up your happy place. This is essentially a dopamine menu that you can come and return to when you just need to have a little bit of a pick-me-up. And so the idea is that you fill this with all of the things that you love doing. And then as the year goes on, you can come to this and choose things to do from the list. And if you want to as well, you can decorate this, put images that inspire you, music that inspires you. I've got my podcast here. Yes, I have a podcast. I interview London female founders. You can really fill this place with anything that inspires you. Now let's get into just how customizable this is. So one thing I love about Notion is that it doesn't have to feel like a spreadsheet, you know, even the aesthetics, the colors, everything that comes with this journal, you can go in and change this so that it is acquired to your taste. So let's say that I wanted to make this a coffee shop theme and wanted to lean more into the browns. I'm actually going to go ahead now and change my cover so that I'm gonna use this unsplash section here and look for coffee shop. I quite like this one, so I'm gonna make that my header image and drag that there. And I'm also gonna go ahead and change the page icon to a coffee cup. And then maybe you want to change the colors. So I'm actually going to go with this coffee shop theme and lean more into the brown. I'm going to click on the 6 dots here that appears anytime you hover or block in Notion, and I'm just going to change this to brown. And I'm going to do the same over here, change this to brown, like so. And you can see how quickly all of a sudden the aesthetic, the whole vibe has changed just from some simple tricks. Also in this journal is this cool quote widget that I found online, and you can go ahead and customize this too. So if I go ahead and click on the little settings wheel, I can choose the theme that I want. I'm actually just gonna have NYC Dusk. Sans serif is fine. I want all of the categories of quotes and save changes. Ooh, I like that. And this is really cool, and you can go ahead and essentially cycle through this and it will show you inspiring quotes throughout the year. And then one other way that you can customize the aesthetics in your journal is that in this Get Started page, I have actually painstakingly created a GIF library by going to giphy.com, and basically in this library, so these are suitable for like cover images, icons, decoration, but essentially I wanted to have an icon. Like, so I've copied the link, and now I'm going to show you how I would replace it here. So I've copied the link, and now all I do is go to upload, paste the image of the GIF, essentially, GIF link, and now that is a cool flashing icon. But you can even decorate your page with some of the GIFs. So I've pasted the link here, and all I do is click embed image. There are so many for you to choose from. Think of this like a physical journal, covering it with stickers. If you want to make custom art, please go ahead and do that too. And if you do, please send me pictures. I want to see how people are kind of making this their own. Now let's get into setting up your planners. If you go ahead and opt in for the Power Journal or the Daydreamer Journal, you have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 planners to customize, and they can be found in this little drop down over here in the page templates here. You have a planner for day, week, month, and a new quarter. So again, just like we were customizing the page out here, you can go ahead and click on the 3 dots and click on edit. And you can go ahead and change the colors and themes in here, as well as update your prompts. So for example, I could add to this something really aspirational here, and I'm just gonna add a new prompt. And I'm going to choose a new emoji using the double colon, and I'm going to type and I'm going to look for a telescope. I said I love to manifest, and I'm going to say, what's something amazing that could happen today? And so I could go ahead and update the prompt for AM. I could go ahead and update the prompt for PM, or maybe you are only an AM person and this is like the AM PM isn't useful to you and you just want to make this one block. That is fine. You can go ahead and customize your daily templates. I'm going to show you what the weekly template looks like as well. Something that I would stay away from editing unless you are an advanced Notion user is editing this section down here in the weekly, monthly, and quarterly planners, as this is basically going to give you an automatic overview for those like weeks, months, quarters, essentially. But feel free to go ahead and customize anything up here. Essentially, again, change the colors, change the prompts, make it yours. And in terms of using them, it's so easy to set up. If I go ahead and click on the 1st of January, the first day, I could go ahead, because I know this is a day but I'm looking at, I just click on the new day template and then it activates the template that I want. And what's cool is that because these are custom, you can just update these throughout the year and it will apply to any new pages that you activate. And so for now, you can hop right into your weekly planner, activate that like so, and you'll see that down here, I filled this with some like imaginary data, but you can see that down here I have a really cool overview of everything that went on that week. And likewise, if I hop into January, I've got everything that's gone on that month as well, and the same thing with the quarter. Accessing all of your pages is super easy. You've got everything in this calendar over here that shows you all the journals and tips. And then you've got this overview calendar where you can hop into all of the weekly, monthly, and quarterly planners. And if you just want to look at your months and your quarters, you've got these views here. If you are an advanced Notion user, feel free to look at the back end, but you really don't need to pay attention to this. If you're a new to Notion user, just live in these two spaces. Next, we're going to talk about the navigation. One thing that I wanted to pay attention to in this journal is that you can slot this right into your workflow and actually stick to your journaling goals. So you may see this little navigation bar up here, but what this does is that it will show you automatically the pages from yesterday and today that you need to focus on. I like to include yesterday so that, maybe you forgot to do it yesterday. You can quickly go back in and update all of the information like so. And what else is cool about this is that if you are a Notion user and you've got like a regular dashboard somewhere else, it's super easy to essentially turn this into a synced block, like so. And I'm actually just gonna drag this, divide it into the synced block space. You can see that it's now got a red outline around it. And I can go ahead and click on this copy icon and head to my normal Notion workspace. This is actually a template that I never released. But you can see that I can access everything nice and easy and go to all of my other pages from here as well directly. So simple. Another way that this slots directly into your workflow is that you can sync this with Notion Calendar by clicking on this Manage in Calendar button here. And so basically, Notion Calendar lets you see all of your dates from Notion that you choose to push through to it, and all of your Google Calendar or Apple Calendar dates in the same place. If you're just going about your day, checking your itinerary, you can just click straight into your journal and again, keep up your journaling habit. So these are all things that you can get involved with right at the beginning. And now let's talk about using your journal throughout the year. I mean, my favorite part of this journal is that literally over 260 of you have sent your self-care tips to be put into the following year's journal, and the number just keeps growing. I've actually had a few come through today for next year. And so the whole idea is that all of these blue tiles here, these are self-care tips that I've literally been collecting for 6 years, and you can see the year that they come from here. And you can open them up and just read a little something to inspire your day. So here's one from 2023, and here's one actually from this past year, so submitted for this year. And if you want to get involved, it's super easy. All you have to do is click on this early access button, which will take you to the form. If you are someone who submits a tip, you'll get early access before everybody to get your hands on the early bird discount for the Power Journal. I really value all of your feedback, and so you can also submit your feedback here, and I take this very seriously. A lot of the improvements are down to the feedback that you're giving me. And to really help a girl out and to get the mission of this journal out there, also go ahead and give us a quick review. There are also links to join in with my monthly academy and to become an affiliate if you wish. All of those links can be found in any of the self-care tip days, but also in the main page. Okay, so you're getting inspired, you're clicking through all of these amazing tips submitted from people around the world, but also let's start noticing some trends. So you might be wondering, where do these colors come from? Well, In each day in the journal, you can go ahead and change the mood, and that mood color will directly reflect on your calendar. So you can kind of see how you are feeling from a glance. And this conditional formatting, which is the technical term for it, is actually a new feature that Notion released this year. And I was so excited to put it in because I think it just really brings it to life. And so that's one way that you can understand trends about your year. Another way is over here in this quick chart. So you can see at a glance what your mood has been for the year, as well as your sleep patterns if you are using the Power Journal. But then you can go ahead and click on more stats, which will take you to the stats page, also accessible from here. And essentially, you've now got a record of all of your sleep patterns and all of your mood patterns throughout the year on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and also a quarterly basis, which I think is really cool. And you might be looking at this if you are in the Power Journal tier, where you're like, I actually don't care about like my sleep. So if you really don't care about your sleep, what you can do is you can either delete that field, leave it empty, or you can change this to something else that can be measured in numbers, like glasses of water. This is your journal. Okay. And the final thing that I want to talk about today is this memory box. So how many times have people asked you, like, oh, like, what books have you read lately? Like, what did you do? What have you been up to? And so what I've done is I've created this memory box, which basically flags all of the things that you cared about throughout the year. Your favorite journal entries, your wins, things that you've watched, read, and so forth. And it's so easy. It literally plugs right into the journal. Flagging again, this is one with the Power Journal. If I go into the 1st of January, for example, and add something into my memory box, I already have one that's kind of pre-filled, but if I go ahead and add filming this video as a win, if I go into my memory box, it's going to show up in my win section like so. And same thing with the bookmark days. To bookmark your favorite journal entries, all you have to do is wherever you see this save this day box, you can go ahead and check that. You can do it from there, you can do it from inside the page, and you can also do it from this over here. Cute as well if you want to remember any like specific tips that stood out to you, like so, and all of those are going to show up in your memory box. Thank you so much, and I'm so excited for you to journal with us in 2026. You can find the link to download this journal in the description. My name is Frances Adair Matthews. I am a certified Notion consultant. I've been doing this for 6 years now, helping people simplify and streamline their lives and businesses with personalized productivity systems built in Notion. Please reach out if you need a hand getting shipshape in the new year. And if you are tired of diving through YouTube rabbit holes to learn Notion, I also run a monthly academy, the Big Notion Energy Academy, where we go through Notion's latest releases and you can ask me, an expert, your burning questions. Details in the description. You can also scan the QR code on the screen, which will also sign you up to my newsletter. Thank you so much. And I am going to try and make more Notion videos in 2026. So if there's anything that you are stuck on or want to learn about, yeah, leave a comment below. But for now, I wish you all the best 2026. Like, follow, subscribe to keep in touch, and happy journaling.